This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment, educational purposes only, and anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, double check you're still subscribed to the channel, double check your notifications are on, and if you hit that like button, double check it's working properly, because you know these bad actors are working overtime to suppress the channel because they're terrified of more people becoming aware of the fraud and corruption in the United States stock market. Guys, listen. GNS filed a lawsuit. Everybody knows it. GNS CEO also sent demand letters to these brokers telling them to stop killing the buy button on GNS. And that's usually a precursor to a lawsuit if they don't follow suit. Okay? But here's the thing. They were able to push GNS down to $1.19 in pre-market. Okay, if you look at this chart behind me, there are 0 GNS shares available to short. There are 0 GNS shares available to short. And a majority of GNS float is DRS. A majority of the float is DRS. So if a majority of the float is DRS and there's no shares available to short, how is the price going down? You think retail investors are selling their GNS shares at this point? You think they woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and started dumping their GNS shares 2 days after the lawsuit was filed for market manipulation, spoofing, and all sorts of other malfeasance? Of course not. Retail investors didn't get up and start dumping their shares. The insiders at GNS didn't wake up at 4 in the morning and start dumping their GNS shares. And institutions that are really long on GNS didn't set the alarm clock at 4 a.m. to dump their GNS shares. This is the bad actors engaging in the same type of behavior that got them in this lawsuit in the first place. Because if there's no shares available to short and nobody is selling their GNS shares at 4 o'clock in the morning, the only way you're able to push GNS down is through spoofing. Or as they said in the lawsuit, they're baiting. They're baiting. They're putting GNS at a lower price, and then milliseconds later, they cancel it. They don't have any GNS to sell, but they make it appear that they do. They don't have any GNS to sell, but they make it appear that they do. And they're making it appear that they're selling it at these ridiculously low prices, and that is pushing the price of GNS down. The SEC knows it, the DOJ knows it, the FBI knows it, and what are they doing about it? Absolutely nothing. Our regulatory agencies, our law enforcement agencies sit on the sidelines and practice willful blindness while the biggest financial crimes in the history of the planet goes on their watch. But GNS shareholders has GNS CEO, and he is not afraid of the naked shorters. He knows exactly what they're doing, and don't get me wrong, all of the CEOs knows exactly what these bad actors doing. They just don't have the balls, the cojones to go after them the way GNS CEO is, okay? And like I tell you guys before, this is not just great for GNS. This is great for AMC, GME, MMTLP, NWBO, and all the other stocks they've been naked shorting over the last 5 years. Because this lawsuit is going to shine a light on the fraud, the malfeasance, the manipulation, and all this evidence is going to be exposed in a court of law. And then the SEC, the DOJ, the FBI won't be able to practice willful blindness and claim that they have no evidence of the fraud and corruption in the United States stock market. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Why do you think GNS prices dropping when there are no shares available to short and nobody's selling their GNS. Straight spoofing by the bad actors. Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.